So I left the dinosaur footprints from last episode behind and headed towards New Mexico, taking in the sights of West Texas as I went, which there wasn't much. Mostly old oil pump jacks. So I'm driving through West Texas and I just thought it was really interesting. You look out over these oil fields and you see all these pump jacks, and a lot of them aren't moving anymore. But beyond that, you see these giant wind farms of like hundreds of, wind turbines to create wind energy power. And I just think it's funny to see like the old energy, kind of dying out and the new energy kind of coming in. Finally, I got to New Mexico and camped through a pretty intense thunderstorm that night before finally getting to Carlsbad Caverns the next morning. So right now I'm walking through the Bat Flight Amphitheater, where every night they do a show where the bats fly out. I can't help but compare it to Son Doong Cave in Vietnam, and the difference I'm struck by is that the mouth of this cave is really, really big compared to Son Doong. Son Doong's entrance and exit are actually pretty small. Another cool thing about this cave is that right at the start, it drops really fast. Looking into the mouth of the cave, you might notice the ubiquitous cave swallow making its home here. Also, one thing to note is that the entrance is littered with bird droppings and has a strong ammonia smell, so be prepared for that. So I'm here in what they call the Big Room, which is the largest underground chamber in the Western Hemisphere. It's huge. It has tons of stalagmites and stalactite formations. As you can see behind me, 3 of the biggest, the 2 to my right, that are about the same size, are called the Twin Domes. Just to the right of that is the Giant's Dome. I believe the Giant's Dome is 65 feet above the cavern floor, so pretty big. It's hard to convey the size of this cave in pictures, but I hope to give you an idea. The main chamber is massive and reminds me of the vaulted ceiling of a giant cathedral. Also, remember how I said the cave goes down right at the entrance? Well, it keeps going down, and down, and down. In fact, by the end, you're 750 feet under the surface. That's like if you went 75 floors down into a building's basement. Luckily, there's elevators at the end to take you back up. So overall, Carlsbad Caverns, amazing. Honestly, I wish I'd come here before I went to the Son Doong Cave in Vietnam, because I feel like I would have learned a whole lot more about cave photography and everything, and I would have gotten more value out of that trip. But definitely worth a visit if you're ever in New Mexico. With the caverns done, it was up and back out into the New Mexico sunlight. Keep an eye on the channel for my next episode, where I get a tan and almost get lost at the White Sand National Monument.